Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to see another game in hanging pawn structure, and this game is played by none other than very famous Levan Aronian. And this is the part two of this video. And in this video, again, we are going to see that how powerful can White's d4 d5 break in, especially in the hanging pawn structure. So after the opening phase, Black has just played last move king to g7 if you look at it, and in this position we can see yes, white is having the hanging pawn on c3 and d4. So how white should continue here? If you first figure find it out by yourself, try to pause the video and think about it how white should continue. So white played queen to b5 here. Black has played queen c7. White played bishop e2. This is typical kind of plan where white usually tries to go with c4 d5 break. So black played rook d8. Black is playing against the hanging pawn, try to keep it as it is so it cannot move. Rook fd1. White is strengthening the piece. Black played b6. Last piece black has to develop. Now white has played c4. White is ready to play d5 on the perfect moment. Right now, not possible, but whenever the situation will come, definitely white will go with it. Knight d7. Again, black is discouraging white to play d5, and here again d5 is for that moment at least it is stopped, because if you play d5, then take, and after queen d6, bishop d7, this is kind of little bit weak rather than advantage. Rook c8 will come. So that's not a good sign for black. Even I think queen c5 black can also play, where the pieces will get exchanged very easily. d5 is little bit weak. You can play d6, but that doesn't make any sense. This is the more it is getting extended, it is becoming more and more weak. So here knight e7, white played queen b2. White is saying that, okay, I'm ready threatening d5 d6, okay, with the discovery on g7 queen. So here black has played king g8. Okay, there was another chance to play, instead of king g8 you could play f6, but yeah, rook c1 is there, bishop d7, and still white is having excellent pawn sacrifice d5, ed5, with the idea of here knight d4, and keeping an eye on this whole. So sorry, here queen d7 and h3. White is having preferable position, threatening bishop to g4. So king g8 played. White lands the knight on e5. Now black has played again. bb7 doesn't work here, because if you play bb7, still I'm going to play d5. And what is my threatened? If you take into d5, knight g4, and this is where the knights are looming on f6, especially on the f6 square. And black is having very tough day ahead. If you play d4, even we just simply take. Knight f5, queen c3, and again knight is having the unpleasant threat of knight to f6. Knight can even back on d6 anywhere. h5 played, rook c1. White was preparing the rook towards the center. Bishop d7, and in this situation, white took the action and goes with the break with d5. Into d5, say into d5, queen d6. Passed pawn must be blocked. Black is doing the same thing, creating a blockade. Otherwise, d6 would have been unpleasant for black. And the perfect moment, knight c4, queen f4. Somehow, we guess white is able to play d6, knight f5, d7. We can see that the d pawn has become on d6 right now, d7 right now, and it is overextended. But no other pieces can attack usually this d7 pawn. Queen g5. Black is threatening to take here, but again, very important point. Probably the best practical chance of what black has missed here is bishop into g2. The idea is king into g2 will be very much complicated in this situation. So, uh, because queen e4 is there, yeah, queen e4 check is there. white can play bishop f3, not possible because of knight h4. And if you try to, or even I believe, yeah, even black can play knight h4 check as well. It is also a very strong threat. So that is possible. Here, the correct move was after bishop g2 is that the queen to e5. The idea is again queen e5 is a bad move because knight e5, bishop b7 back, and rook c7. White is completely winning because white has a big advantage of this d7 pawn. In this position, so rook c7, rook a b8, bishop c4 is a possibility, but after this position again f7 pawn is falling apart. You can play knight h6, but here all of the pieces are completely tied down. White's pieces are very active, and white is having a big advantage due to the pass pawn on d7. So in this position black had played queen g5, and again white has simply played g3 in this situation, and white is completely winning in this situation. And if we look at this game, so even we can see that h4 has been played, but after g4, knight g7, queen to e5, I can't see such a good move. g4, knight g7, and again queen to e5 by black. Then black has played knight to e6, queen g5, knight g5, knight e5, and this position is king g7. I'm just showing you that last few moves what happened in the game, because already we can see that this pawn is, once this pawn is stabilized on d7, black is having a very difficult time ahead. So queen g5, and in this position rook comes to c3. Rook is just preparing to double up. Rook c3, knight e6, come back, then rook e3, and after rook e3 again I can see here, yeah, knight c5, black has just played knight to c5, white has played g5, f6, and rook d6. Here black actually resigned the game after f6 and d6. Why resignation? First of all, I am threatening here, strong threat. But if you take, what will happen? Can you figure it out? What white will play in this situation? This is for you. Find it out and let me comment down below that what will happen and why black has resigned in this position after rook d6. This is just a homework for you. If you like this video, please share with your friends. If you are new in my channel, kindly subscribe. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Bye bye.